Hey guys, it's Christina and welcome to Wednesday. Brody and I are so excited because we are here with the Dancing with the Stars champ, Sharna Burgess. How are you?
I'm so good.
Yes,
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you for being here as I drop my magazine. So today, Sharna's going to help us break down this week's issue. We are talking all about Michelle Williams. We're talking all about Nick and Priyanka's extravaganza of a wedding. It was unbelievable, so we're going to break that down. We're also going to be talking about Brad Pitt's and Angelina Jolie. They finally settled that custody battle. And Khloe and Tristan, we have an update on them. But before we get to all of that, we have to talk about you because you have had a very exciting couple weeks. Congrats.
Yeah, I finally won.
Yes.
7 years in the making.
Yes.
7 years in the making.
Yes.
I finally got there in the end, and it was the most unexpected win. There's definitely seasons that I've gone into and I thought this is the one. This was not one of those seasons.
Yeah.
And then as I got to know Bobby and got to know how much people loved him, I thought, oh my gosh, I think we have a shot at this.
Yeah.
And who knew that he was going to be the person I get to win my first Mirrorball with?
Right, totally.
It was perfect.
Well, it's like a true testament to the power of the fandom of the show. You guys got saved a lot too, and it just like the people really turned out for Bobby, which is exciting.
Yeah, I think there was definitely a lot of controversy. There was definitely a lot of uproar this season, not just over Bobby's win, but also some of the eliminations throughout the season. But I think, like you said, what that goes to show is that the power of the people's vote is so strong. And you have to think, yes, it's 50-50, but there is no ceiling on how many people can vote. But there is a ceiling on the judges' scores. So every single vote counts. And when you don't tune in that 1 week and you don't vote, that could be the deciding factor for your favourite. And the controversy sucked a little bit. I was like, oh gosh, I just want to enjoy the win. But at the same time, I love how passionate our fans are about this show. That's why we've had 27 seasons. It's why we're going to have 28. And so I do love that. But hopefully it's a message. Vote for your favourite. You know what I mean? Don't just be a spectator.
Yeah, no, that is so true. What do you think it was about Bobby that made people fall in love with him?
I think that he represented them in a way that we've had nobody else ever before. You know, he is this awkward, nerdy human that is just wears his heart on his sleeve and says, I'm so bad at this, but hopefully through me you're going to be inspired to try something that you feel like you don't have a shot at doing either. Literally against all odds, we took home the Mirrorball. Literally against the odds and against anyone thinking it was possible. So even though, yes, it's a TV show, but it does show you that anything is possible if you just really believe in yourself and work hard. And I do think that our fans, whether they knew him or not before the season, found a way to connect with him on a very personal, human level. And that affected a lot of people. It affected me. You know, he inspired me with how he would try every day. He's phenomenal.
Yeah.
You talked a little bit about controversy. People were not happy with Bobby with the flossing after the foxtrot, and they were.
I was not happy with Bobby.
They left your defense on social media. People were like, "That is so disrespectful to Sharna."
It was, you know what's funny, it was such a, and that was my initial reaction too. Like, we worked all week on this routine and then you go and do that at the very end of it. I was so mad. I was so mad. I had the flower in my hand. I forgot that I was on national television and I popped him right in the face with it. I was like, what the God? And then I was like, contain yourself, you're on national television. And my initial reaction was to be livid with him, and I was for about an hour afterwards. And then I got to learn and understand Bobby, you know, that what happened was he felt that he'd messed up so many times that he was like, I need to make people laugh because I didn't do it right and I didn't do it right. And he was trying, it's his way of trying to make up for it, right? And he's obviously the ultimate entertainer. And then, lo and behold, our freestyle, I was like, you know what, we're bringing that floss back. And I had the whole room, Tom and Aaron included, doing the floss because it was one of his iconic moments on the show.
Definitely.
And it was really where I learned to just let Bobby do Bobby. I was along for the ride.
You're like, I'm not going to change that.
I love that. Debbie is asking, I'm obsessing over your hair. What do you use on it?
Oh my gosh. Right now, I love to use Kevin Murphy. He's an Australian hairstylist. He has his own product line, and it's Angel Wash, and it smells like cotton candy.
Ooh, very nice.
My favorite.
People were obviously fascinated with Alexis and Alan and the showmans going on.
We love a good showman.
People tried to pin you with Bonner when you guys were
Oh,
different.
yeah.
Pin me with everybody. What are you talking about? I'm the only single girl on the show every season. Oh, there's something going on.
Yeah.
Everyone wants me to marry my partners.
This is true. Even Andy Dick, did people want you to marry Andy Dick when you guys were married?
That was a little different. That was a touch different. I was also in a relationship at the time.
Okay.
So I was
Yeah.
like, since I've been single, it doesn't matter who I am
Yeah.
with.
Right.
They're like, oh, she has so much chemistry with him.
Yeah. Well, I was personally a little sad about the Bonner thing
Me
not
too.
happening. Because we were like,
A
you
lot
guys
of
are,
people were.
you're both
Yeah.
so athletic and hot,
Yeah.
and he's like a bad boy.
If only
kind of-
that's all it took.
Right. Yeah.
This is true. This is
We would have made great babies, that's about it.
true. But Alexis and Alan,
Yes.
how was that watching that unfold? Were you like, oh, Alan, maybe don't? She seemed very into it, and she was open about that. But then he sort of seemed into it too.
It was a tough one, right? Because
Yeah.
they're this young couple that have this really very natural and genuine connection between the two of them, and then we put a camera on them, and
Sure.
I don't think that they were quite ready for what that is. Like,
Yeah.
I can stand there and say, I don't want to do this on camera and I don't feel comfortable and
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it, but sometimes when you're a bit younger you feel like maybe you don't have the voice to say that.
Sure.
And I think maybe Alexis was a little bit part of that. She's just feeling like, oh, I'm going to tell the truth and I'm going to say all the things, and it was so sweet, but I think it put the spotlight on them just a little bit too much and maybe
Sure.
put a bit too much pressure on them.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're doing with it now. I haven't seen them since the season, and I hope that they go at their own pace now,
Sure.
because they look so dang good together.
They are
They do.
adorable.
I mean,
Yeah.
They do.
they look like they should
Yes,
be together.
they do.
You know, I'm on that shipping
Yeah,
train.
yeah.
Is it a shipping train?
Yeah,
Is
you
it
can
a
ship it. You
Oh,
can
it's
ship
just a
it.
ship.
Yeah, yeah. You're
It's
not a
just a
shipping
ship.
train.
Got it,
You
ship
ship
it.
that relationship.
Okay,
Yeah.
you know, I'm on that too for them because I think
Yeah.
they're adorable. But now, hopefully, without the cameras and the weekly Monday night of everyone saying, "Are you or aren't you?" they can figure that out together.
Yeah, and chill a little bit.
Yeah.
Is it easy, do you feel, to fall in love on this show because you spend so much time together and
Well, I'm not falling in love
right?
with
But
this
do,
right
Not yet. Don't limit
do
yourself.
you understand how other people do?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I've loved most of my partners,
Right.
and that transcends romantic love. There's a different thing. You build this bond with each other. You go through 3 months of hell and back, essentially.
Yeah.
You have to get to know each other. I'm asking all the personal questions about your story, the nitty gritty, so I can turn it into a dance. I'm also learning how to work with you and to nurture you. We go through triumph and adversity and failure and adversity and triumph all over again as a cycle. That bonds people. That's a bubble. That's a feeling that you can't get anywhere else. And at the end of it, you mourn it and you miss it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I've made incredible bonds with some people. I think there's probably 4 or 5 that I'm still very close with, 3 that are absolutely my family. 1 whose birthday is today, Mr. James Hinchcliffe. Happy birthday, my love. That will be my family forever. Bobby is now another one of those. And I love them deeply and truly, but not romantically.
Yeah.
I can see how people that aren't a part of the dance world can get confused on what that means, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm touching you and
Sure.
I'm guiding you.
There's
and
eye gazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
It's all of that.
Yeah.
You know, you got to remember this is acting as much as acting is. This is we're creating stories and creating a journey through dance. And so what you see on the dance floor isn't necessarily a representation of what's
What's happening
happening
in real
off
life.
the dance floor.
Yeah.
Disappointing, but fine.
Right, yeah, I know. 'cause yeah,
You believe what you want.
right, we will.
They're all in love. Oh my
Listen, I want to. You know what? So I'm like, hey, Dina Katz is our casting director. She's also like my American mama. She's such an incredible woman, and I love her. And I'm always like, who you got for me this season? Is it my future husband? I don't know what's happening. So listen, I'm not opposed to it, but
Right.
it hasn't sparked for me
Not
yet.
yet. Well, that's what Sarah is asking. What about you and Bobby?
What about me? You and the rest of the world, Sarah. I'll ask you about what about me and Bobby. Again, I love him truly and deeply, and he will be in my life for forever. But there was not a romantic connection for us. We're so professional and we work so hard, and we were so focused on wanting to win and wanting to push ourselves through. And at some point, we really didn't like each other for a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what you go through.
Well, yeah, you're with each other 24/7 pretty much. Yeah,
but
you're
now,
gonna have disagreements.
Yeah, he's actually in LA right now. I'm hoping to catch up with him for lunch, dinner, and all the things.
Nice.
Do you ever ask casting to reach out to certain people that you'd love to see on the show? Like, are there people you'd love to see in the show?
Yeah, there's always
Give us
people
some
throughout-
names.
You know who I actually met over the weekend, and I think he's an absolute sweetheart doing incredible things for the world, is Ben Higgins. And
yeah, we do love that.
never did Dancing with the Stars, and I was like, would you ever do it? And he considered the thought, so maybe I'll put his name in.
Yeah.
He is single.
Oh, is he single?
Yes.
Well, that's exciting. No, but he's lovely, and he's a great human, and I think that he was loved by a lot of people when he was on the show. So no idea if the man can move though. So that's we might work that out before I commit to being his dance partner.
Definitely. So now that you have some time off from Dancing with the Stars, what are you up to next?
I have been traveling around. I was in Australia for a little while. Going to go back to Australia for family. I'm going to be staying in my acting and my singing, and really, there's a couple of possible Broadway projects on the works for me in 2019, so I'm going to be focusing on that too.
That's great.
And just, it's been so long since I've taken a break. I said no to doing the tour this time because it's been 3-4 years of just back to back.
Yeah.
And I got to this year and I thought, you know what? I need a little me time. I need to figure out where I'm going with all of this, and so I wanted to put more work into my dance cardio series and really building what I want to represent for women and what I want my platform to mean and how I can do good with it.
Definitely.
So the next few months is me figuring out a lot of that too, and how I can create change within my platform as well, and a lot of soul searching and how I can help people,
Totally. And tell people where they can get your dance classes.
Oh my gosh.
They're great.
So please, you can find everything on my website. It is shop.sharnaburgess.com. There is a whole bunch of merchandise as well that goes with it. It is all female empowerment inspired. There is yoga mats. My favorite is the mantra mat, but there's also the workout. So there's a dance cardio series, and they are incredible. We have a dance in general, we have a cha-cha, and we also have a jive that is really kicking everyone's butt right now.
Oh, I like that.
I recommend you try them out.
I love that. That's fantastic. So, all right, so you're going to help us break down some news
Let's
that's going
do
on
it.
in this
Yes, let's
issue.
talk about something
All right,
other than dancing with the stars.
No, we can come back to it.
Oh,
Don't
yeah,
worry.
we shall. Please,
Don't
excellent
worry.
question.
I mean, hit me with it. I'm good with it.
All right, so let's talk about our cover story. This is all about Michelle Williams, because a decade after Heath Ledger's death, she has found peace, happiness, and true love. In July, Michelle revealed she quietly married indie singer-songwriter Phil Elverum, and an insider tells us that she and Phil are a perfect match. She kissed a lot of frogs to get to where she is now, but she doesn't regret it one bit. I love seeing that she is so happy and in love after everything that she's been through.
I think it's incredible. I think their love story, hers and Heath's, was just so epic and beautiful, and I think that she'll probably always love him. I think she'll even say that, but the fact that she's found happiness, and 10 years later, mind you, this is 10 years later. She deserves that.
She does.
And I love that she did it quietly. I love that she did it just for herself and for him.
It's very sweet.
Yeah, it
and
was.
Yeah, they both have young daughters, and we talked to Heath's parents earlier this year, just a couple months ago, and they said she's done an incredible job as a single mom. We also talked to her former Dawson's Creek co-star, James Van Der Beek, recently, and he said that, she's someone who's just taken a path of her own and really can shut out what other people have said or are trying to say, and she goes at it her own. He said it's really brave and inspiring. It's very sweet.
I love that. That's very rare in this industry.
Yes, it's hard to block those people out,
it's
for
so
sure.
hard. It's so hard. It's so hard to be able to do that and not come across as hard and distant from what everybody, your fans, in a sense, the people that do appreciate you. And I think she's just such a gracious, gorgeous woman, and a great representation of a woman too, that has gone through a lot of struggle and being a single mum, and is just so elegant at the other side of it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I can't believe Matilda's a 13. I looked that up the other day. I was like, oh my God.
13.
It goes by so fast.
Michelle also is an incredible actress too, which we haven't even talked about, Blue Velvet, Valentine, all those amazing movies she's done. Brokeback Mountain, she was in with Heath.
Right.
So
That's
she's
where they fell in love.
really inspiring.
Love her.
Agreed.
I
I
know.
love her.
I do.
She's just gorgeous.
Perfect. We're getting some more Dancing with the Stars questions. Amanda is asking, are you and Bobby still getting your Mirrorball tattoos?
that question is haunting me.
Wow, that's what happens.
You know what? I'm down. I'm down because it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a Mirrorball trophy, but I would love to find some sort of artistic way for us to represent that we did this together. Again, Bobby's going to be in my life forever. I'm never going to have not won the Mirrorball. I'm never going to regret the fact that was really a milestone moment for me. That was 7 years that it took me to get there.
Right.
And it almost drove me insane trying to get to it. And so I feel like, have certain things on my body that mean something to me, that that triumph certainly does, like I said, is a milestone. So I do want to find a creative way to do it. It's definitely not going to be a Mirrorball trophy. It won't just be a big old Mirrorball somewhere, but I got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Probably on your neck.
Totally.
Everybody knows.
Disco ball right here on my neck. I won season 27.
Where do you have your Mirrorball trophy?
Currently, she's in my hotel room.
Oh.
She's been on tour.
Wow.
I just went to the Dominican Republic for a charity, and they asked me to bring it with me. It's like Mirrorball on tour right here. She's gone everywhere. Mind you, I'm going to have to take it to Australia to my parents, otherwise they will kill me if everyone else sees it and they don't. So,
So funny. I love that.
That's really great.
All right, moving on to our next story. This has been a big one. Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra tied the knot with not one, but 2 wedding ceremonies in India. And an insider tells us of the 5-day extravaganza that everything ran to perfection, and it was a dream come true. I mean, if you saw those pictures, then yes, it was a dream come true. It was unbelievable.
That's amazing.
It's incredible. I mean, Priyanka is so famous in India. So this was like essentially a royal wedding over there. Days of events. Then they had another event on Tuesday night in Delhi for mostly Indian people. This was like an international affair. Really incredible. Of course, Joe and Sophie were there. Joe Jonas, his brother, and Sophie Turner. But really gorgeous.
It was.
Over the top, to say the least.
To say the least. That veil was something out of
It's like
a
75
storybook.
feet.
Right.
Yeah.
That giant, long white veil, and then a beautiful red dress the following day
Yeah.
for the Indian wedding.
Absolutely amazing. What a beautiful way to blend 2 cultures
Yeah.
too,
Yes.
right? To find the best of both worlds, to bring these families together, to honor both sides and the tradition. And I think that is just so amazing. And traditionally, leading up to Indian weddings, there is a lot of ceremonies and the henna ceremonies and the everything. And it's really stunning that they have those customs. And I love that they were able to share that and just bring everybody into the one world and have the 2 ceremonies. And I think that's just fascinating and beautiful, and I feel like it's the perfect way to have done it.
Yeah, I love how you would love this, that they did like a dance-off.
At the Sanjeet, yes. There's a Friday night party where they're dancing and singing. So Nick's family does it, and then Priyanka's family does
Like
it.
a dance battle.
Yes.
It's like my dream wedding.
Yeah.
I know.
Basically.
Oh my God, that sounds phenomenal.
I know, and it looked like Joe Jonas sang, so I'm really hoping that there was a Joe Bro reunion.
Yes, for sure.
Totally. Would you ever do like an over the top wedding, something like that?
You know what? I go in between. I think it very much depends on who I'm with. Sometimes I can be I'm such a Gemini. Sometimes I want over the top and extravagant, and then other times I'm like, oh gosh, no, not all of the fuss. Just take me to a remote island with my family and let's get married.
You liked that Michelle Williams wedding.
Right.
You said you liked that they did a small thing, but you can also appreciate a Nick and Priyanka sized blowout.
I mean, I think I would probably appreciate that more because I'm such a lover of people and celebration, and I would want everyone to enjoy in the moment with me and to share it. And so I think, even though I want to be able to say, I just want something small, I want the biggest wedding ever. You know what I mean? I think that's what I want. I want the biggest dress and the biggest wedding and all the things.
And gifts, hello.
And all the gifts.
If you have 3 people at your wedding, you only get 3 gifts.
That's very true.
Okay.
Seriously. I wonder what happens there, like, because they have 2 ceremonies. You bring gifts to both.
Well, we also heard that they will likely have receptions in the States as well for people who couldn't travel. But Priyanka had like an Amazon registry before this too. I think if you want to get them a gift, you can get it to them.
You can get it.
I don't think they're coming back being like, babe, do we check this? Like,
When are we through here?
I love it. Okay, let's move on to our next story. Now, this is Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. Thank God the custody war between them has finally come to an end. After more than 2 years of fighting, a source tells us that Angelina agreed to a deal that gives Brad joint physical and legal custody of their 6 children. Now, while Brad's side is not commenting on the agreement, a source does tell us that he got what he wanted after a very long, protracted process. This has been going on for over 2 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, as we know, when Angelina filed, she said she wanted sole physical custody. So this is a major development in the fact that she's now agreed to give Brad joint physical custody. She was fine giving him joint legal custody, but joint physical is a different thing, obviously because there was this plane incident, so there was the idea that he might not be a fit parent. Obviously, child custody evaluators went in, determined that he was a great parent, that he was able to parent them, so they came to this agreement that they could have joint custody, which is a great development for Team Brad.
Totally.
Absolutely.
And the kids, too.
Yeah, and the
Yes.
kids, of course, to have their dad to be a part of their
Right.
lives.
Yeah, I mean, could you imagine? I can't imagine going through that for 2 years. Not as any member of that family.
Yeah.
You know, the torment, and hopefully this brings them some peace now, and they can try and find what the new normal will be for them. You know, and have a new way to function, because that has really got to be hard, and that's going to leave scars on the kids
Absolutely.
too.
Totally.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That affects you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this is the first time in 2 years that he doesn't have to have monitored visits anymore.
Right,
The kids
those
can
will
actually
end.
sleep over his house
Yes,
now.
that will happen too.
That's definitely, it takes a toll, I'm sure.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm sure as the kids grow up, there's still going to be questions
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
why. You know, unfortunately, this isn't where it ends for them, because it's going to be a conversation the older those kids get. You know, things like this affect kids greatly, affect a family greatly. And so resolution comes over a long period of time, but this is the greatest development, and I think it's a really positive thing.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, this is only custody. They still haven't finalized a divorce.
Yeah.
But hopefully, I know, which is insane to think about, but maybe, you know, we're on the path for a Mr. and Mrs. Smith too.
Maybe. That's how they're going to settle things.
You know what? Maybe we can have an
That's how they
Maybe we're still a little far from a sequel, but here's
Maybe.
hoping.
Here's hoping.
I mean, it was so good.
Oh my
It was so
God,
good.
it was so good.
Yes, that's how they're going to settle the divorce.
Yeah,
Battle to the
probably
end.
something akin to that.
Something. All right, now moving on to our final story. Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson are putting his cheating scandal behind them, and they are actually trying for another baby. A source tells us that she isn't pregnant yet, but they are actively trying. Now, this news comes 8 months after she welcomed their daughter True and his cheating scandal. Remember, they happened at the same time.
Literally days before.
Yes,
before.
they did. And now they are just unfolding on Keeping Up with the Kardashians,
Yes.
which she's been admirably candid about on the show and also on Twitter.
Have you seen it?
Yes,
Yeah.
I have. I don't know how to get on board with
I
with all of that. I am a different, wrong or right, each to their own. I'm a different kind of woman. I would be out the door with that baby.
Yeah.
And we'd be talking about custody, like, and sharing time. Like, there's absolutely no way that I could go back to a man that cheated on me when I'm days before having his child.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's
I mean,
insane.
There's no excuse for that.
I'd still be burning things down 8 months later. So
Absolutely.
I wouldn't even be able to like have a custody agreement or conversation yet. I'd be like, give me 2 more seconds, I'll be right back.
Yeah,
Your
right.
mom's house is still standing.
Yeah, exactly. I've got more to burn.
Yeah.
It's I think that she's such a beautiful and incredible woman, and I think she is so empowering in so many ways, which for me is why I find that very surprising that she has decided to not just stay, but to bring another child into this. And that is what I find very, very interesting. Again, each to their own.
Sure.
I don't know the ins and outs of their story, and that is theirs to know.
Yeah.
But for me, and the facts that I do know, absolutely no way.
No, and also we saw Khloe go through something with Lamar Odom years ago, and
similar.
he struggled with drug problems and also cheated on her, and she took him back until she got to a certain point and had to cut him off. But, you know, she's someone who's proven able to weather this before and has now chosen to go through this again. Well, to weather it
She
again.
has blinders on.
I think it's a very difficult thing, right? Because we are so strong and we can put up with so much, we do, but it doesn't mean we should.
Right.
And it doesn't mean we have to. And I know that she wants to give her kids a family, right?
Sure.
And a father, and to give that father figure. I come from a family where my family stayed together for me, and I can tell you right now it wasn't the best decision for them or for me. That is an example of how a man and a woman should love each other. Those kids will grow up watching that as an example of what love is, and that imprints on them. And they're going to have to go through figuring that out for themselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they're going to watch back that episode of Keeping Up
They-
with the
That's
Kardashians.
there forever.
Yeah,
Like, it's there
they
forever.
sure are. That's
Ever,
the insane thing about that family documenting so much on that show. It's all out there for not only them to see, but the public to dissect. And we've seen Khloe either clap back or respond to people online who've questioned her decision to stay or asked her how it is for her. And she's been quite candid about the whole process and how she feels.
Well, I hope she makes the right decision for her.
For her,
Yeah.
yes. For her and her kids, and hope she finds clarity with that.
Totally.
Whatever that is for her.
Sharna, Hannah is asking, did you get starstruck by anyone at the CMA Awards recently?
Just everybody. Oh my God. And you know what starstruck me the most? They knew my name. Like, Chris Stapleton walks past and he's like, oh, hey, Sharna, what's up? I got starstruck by, oh my God, Garth Brooks.
Oh, wow.
I was literally speechless. So I'm on the red carpet, and I turn around, and he looks at me, and he says, "Sharna, you look stunning tonight." And I was like,
That's amazing.
so I just smiled. I had nothing to say.
Not even a
I
thank
just-
you.
Not
Just
even, I was like, literally had no words.
That is
So I was like,
funny.
well, that was unexpected. And it was just so wonderful. And I've got to say, I loved the CMAs. I love the community of country music, and I've truly fallen in love with it. I've always liked country music, but my gosh, the community is just incredible. And sitting there in the CMAs, by the way, sitting front row, which is a moment in my life. I hope I one day get to relive, but it was so special to sit there and watch everybody be genuinely so supportive of one another and happy for one another, and all these artists around them just loving on each other for their art.
Yeah.
It's unique and really sweet.
It is.
It's really, really special. There's no one stealing the microphone, getting up, saying something catty, and no one calling out this over that way. It was just genuine appreciation and love for each other and their art and the message that they're trying to send out. And so it was really, really special for me to see that and to be there.
Yeah, and
It's a tight-knit
adoration of
community.
Carrie Underwood, too. Queen Carrie
Yeah.
Underwood.
Is a queen.
She
Yeah.
is.
Like, pregnant, not pregnant, can see, like, she's just the most gorgeous woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And fantastic as a host, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
she did a
funny.
good job.
She's great.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming by and helping us break down the news, talking all about Dancing with the Stars. It was
Yeah.
so much fun.
Thank you.
And I want to remind everybody to go to shop.sharnaburgess.com to take all your dance classes because they are so much fun. Make sure to pick up the latest issue of Us Weekly. It is on newsstands right now. All right, we'll see you guys next week. Sharna, thank you again.
Bye. Thank you.